Welcome to another Strategic Thinking episode. These episodes cover topics related to business, industry and the economy, and also your place in it and the organisation that you work for, that you serve, that you're associated with, their place in it, and how that you and that organisation can achieve long-term success. These episodes are about creating a pathway to the future. Visionary leadership, maintaining innovation, maintaining and sustaining competitive advantage, looking over the horizon of what's coming ahead. Each of these have a common thread, and that is being aware of the major drivers of change, looking at these, if you will, global megatrends, and how these trends affect a lot of different areas: politics, economics, society and technology. And in this episode, I want to look at one of those drivers of change: demography. You may have heard of that saying, demography is destiny, how the age profile of a country determines how it operates, how its economy operates, how its society operates, and so on. Think of Japan and its ageing society. Think of China and its one-child policy. Here's the thing. Gradually, our society is getting older. Did you notice recently, and in recent times, a slight uptick in the number of news stories about centenarians, of people 100 years who've made that mark? There are about 4,000 now in Australia, and globally there's about 500,000. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, the average Australian in 1917 was a 24-year-old male farmer. 50 years later, in 1967, the average Australian was a 29-year-old office worker. And now, today, a few years ago, in 2017, the average Australian was a 38-year-old female office worker. Australia is getting older on average. And according to the UN, between 2015 and 2030, the number of people over 60 years old on this planet is going to rise by 50% to 1.4, almost 1.5 billion people. That's almost 1 in 6 people by 2030 will be over the age of 60 here on Earth. So let's lift our eyes to see what potentially lies over the horizon for an increasingly aged society. Perhaps we can see on the horizon increased mobility, driverless, autonomous vehicles to enable mobility for the aged. Perhaps we can see where the focus of popular culture is more geared toward mentoring than adventure, more geared toward older age and maturity rather than youth. You know, it might be that the pop bands and the popular music and the top tens that Triple J might run would be more geared toward the boomers than the millennials. It's an interesting shift, and as we start to ponder the shifts in society, we can start to see how that will affect politics, economics, society, technology, how it will start to impact your business and the decisions that you need to make now for what lies over the horizon in 3, 4, 5, 10 years' time. As John Naisbitt said in his book that was on the New York Times bestseller list for a couple of years, a few years ago, trends, he said, are like horses. It's best to ride them in the direction that they are going. So thanks for watching, and all the best for the decisions that you need to make, particularly taking care of the trends that are affecting your business, affecting your organisation, particularly this trend of demography and the ageing of society.